They say the Netherlands is where beauty meets balance, where women walk with the grace of freedom and a country below sea level rises above the world. Here, confidence isn't loud. It flows quietly through canals, coffee shops, and the rhythm of bicycle wheels. This is not just a nation, it's a way of life, built on equality, creativity, and calm rebellion. Join us as we uncover 17 fascinating truths about this land of wind and wonder, where intelligence, elegance, and courage define what it truly means to be beautiful. Number 1. The land below the sea. The first thing you feel in the Netherlands is the wind. Clean, constant, and whispering a secret. This land was never meant to be. 1/4 of the country lies below sea level, yet the Dutch turned survival into science. For centuries, they've tamed the sea with dikes, canals, and windmills that once pumped water, now reborn as sleek turbines spinning for a greener age. Covering just 16,000 square miles, this low land shelters more than 18 million people who live not above the sea, but alongside it. Here, the ocean isn't an enemy, but an old companion. Unpredictable, powerful, and deeply respected. Every field reclaimed, every canal mapped, is a quiet victory over chaos. The Dutch live with calm precision, their confidence shaped by centuries of endurance. This is where our journey begins. In a country that learned to breathe underwater and still dares to dream higher than the waves. Number 2. Women who lead the wind. Step onto any street in the Netherlands, and you'll notice something striking. Women here move with ease, not urgency. They ride bikes in jeans and sneakers, head high, posture relaxed, eyes focused. There's no sense of competition, no need for validation. Confidence is simply part of the air they breathe. Dutch women are among the tallest in the world, but what truly stands out is their independence. In daily life, equality isn't a debate, it's a habit. They share bills on dates, make decisions at work, and expect fairness in every situation. From university lecture halls to government offices, women are visible, respected, and free to speak their minds. Many run their own businesses, lead social initiatives, or balance family life without apology. This modern attitude didn't appear overnight. Decades of education, social trust, and open dialogue shaped a generation of women who value authenticity over perfection. They don't chase glamour, they value substance. To understand Dutch society, you have to understand its women, calm, capable, and content with who they are. In their confidence lies the true strength of the Netherlands. Number 3. The nation that moves on 2 wheels. Nowhere else in the world is movement this effortless. In the Netherlands, the bicycle isn't just transportation, it's a way of life. More than 23 million bikes serve a nation of 18 million people. Every morning, rivers of cyclists glide through city streets, from students in hoodies to executives in suits, all sharing the same rhythm. The sound of tires on cobblestone has become part of the country's heartbeat. Utrecht is home to the world's largest underground bike parking station, a smooth, silent maze holding thousands of bicycles beneath the central train hub. In Amsterdam, separate lanes, bridges, and traffic lights are designed solely for cyclists. Here, cars adjust to people, not the other way around. The Dutch cycle through rain, wind, even snow. Not out of duty, but because it's convenient, clean, and affordable. The bike keeps cities quiet, air fresh, and people healthy. It's urban design at its smartest. Simple, efficient, human. To visit the Netherlands is to realize that freedom can be as simple as 2 wheels and a clear path home. Number 4. Cities on water. Amsterdam, Utrecht, and Giethoorn. Every Dutch city has its own relationship with water, not as an obstacle, but as a companion. Amsterdam floats on a web of canals so intricate it feels like the city is breathing through them. Boats replace cars, and reflections of gabled houses ripple gently across the surface. Cafes line the bridges, artists paint beside the water, and every sunset turns the canals into liquid gold. In Utrecht, the old and new blend perfectly. Along its historic wharfs, students sip coffee just a few steps below street level, surrounded by quiet ripples and passing kayaks. Above, trains slide into the station, connecting modern speed with medieval calm. Then there's Gaiathorn, the village without roads. Here, mail is delivered by boat, and children row to school through narrow green canals framed by thatched cottages. Silence rules, broken only by the sound of paddles and birds. These cities show how deeply water shapes Dutch life, not just in geography, but in spirit. It slows the pace, softens the noise, and reminds everyone that beauty often flows where people learn to live gently. Number 5. Rotterdam and The Hague. Modernity meets power. Rotterdam looks nothing like the rest of the Netherlands. After being almost completely destroyed during World War II, it didn't rebuild what was lost. It reinvented itself. Today, it's a vertical city of glass, steel, and daring imagination. Skyscrapers curve like sculptures, bridges stretch across the Maas River like ribbons of light, and modern architecture stands proudly beside the few historic buildings that survived. Locals call it the city with no fear, and it shows. From the cube houses that tilt at impossible angles to the futuristic Markthal, a massive food market wrapped beneath a cathedral-shaped roof of murals. This is the Netherlands at its most experimental, bold, efficient, international. Rotterdam's port, the largest in Europe, connects the country to every corner of the world, while its skyline reflects a forward-looking spirit that never stops evolving. It's not just a city rebuilt, it's a declaration that progress can grow from ruin. Less than an hour away lies The Hague, the calm to Rotterdam's rush. It's where power wears a quiet face. Here stand the embassies, royal palaces, and the Peace Palace, home to the International Court of Justice. Diplomats and jurists walk the same tree-lined avenues as locals heading to the seaside at Scheveningen. The Hague is both political heart and coastal escape, the place where law and leisure meet without contradiction. Together, Rotterdam and The Hague reveal two sides of the Dutch soul, one fearless, one thoughtful. Innovation and justice, ambition and balance. They prove that modernity in the Netherlands isn't loud or reckless. It's built with purpose, anchored in trust, and always reaching for something better. Number 6. Living smart, living simple. To live in the Netherlands is to see what the future of daily life could look like. Clean, digital, and deeply human. Every detail here is designed for efficiency. Houses that recycle rainwater, cities powered by wind and sun, and apps that track your train down to the minute. It's not luxury, it's logic. The Dutch believe comfort comes from smart planning, not excess. Apartments are small but filled with light. Smart thermostats adjust with the weather, and energy meters remind you to save power, not out of guilt, but pride. Even waste is separated with care. Glass, plastic, paper, everything finds a new life. Groceries arrive by cargo bikes or electric vans, while rooftop gardens bring nature back to the city. Public transport runs like clockwork, and biking lanes meet digital bus stops, a harmony between analog calm and technological order. Life feels effortless not because it's simple, but because it's thought through. In the Netherlands, simple living doesn't mean doing less. It means living better, with clarity, conscience, and control. Number 7. Harnessing the wind. If water shaped the Netherlands, wind gave it power. For centuries, the Dutch have turned gusts into motion, first with the wooden windmills that pumped water and ground grain. now with towering white turbines spinning along the coast. The landscape that once symbolized survival has become a symbol of sustainability. The historic windmills of Kinderdijk still stand proudly, their sails creaking gently in the breeze, a living museum of the country's battle against the sea. Just miles away, modern wind farms rise from the North Sea, generating nearly half of the nation's renewable energy. Technology replaced timber, but the principle stayed the same. Use nature, never fight it. Wind energy isn't just an environmental choice here, it's a national identity. Dutch engineers export green solutions worldwide, from floating turbines to offshore platforms that feed cities with clean power. Each project is a quiet triumph of foresight and precision. Standing between the old mills and new turbines, you feel a rare kind of continuity, centuries apart, yet sharing one belief: progress should move with nature, not against it. In the Netherlands, the wind that once threatened life now sustains it. Number 8. The Greenhouse Nation. Drive through the Dutch countryside at night, and you'll see something extraordinary. Endless fields glowing under glass. These are the greenhouses that power one of the world's most advanced agricultural systems. Though smaller than many U.S. states, the Netherlands is the second largest exporter of food on Earth, behind only America. It's not luck, it's innovation. Inside these glass cities, temperature, light, and water are controlled by sensors. Tomatoes grow twice as fast with half the water. Lettuce, peppers, and herbs are cultivated vertically to save space. Drones monitor plant health while AI systems adjust humidity automatically. Every seed is data, every harvest a calculation. What began as a necessity, limited land and harsh weather, became a triumph of technology and precision. The region of Westland, known as the Glass City, supplies produce to nearly every European supermarket. Farmers here aren't just growers, they're engineers in boots. The Dutch have proved that sustainability and profit can grow side by side. In a warming world, their greenhouses aren't just farms, they're blueprints for the planet's future. This is how a small, waterlogged nation feeds millions beyond its borders. Number 9. The port that feeds the world. Rotterdam's port isn't just the largest in Europe. It's the pulse of Dutch trade and innovation. Stretching over 40 kilometers, it connects the continent to every ocean, handling millions of containers each year. But what makes it remarkable isn't its size, it's how intelligently it runs. Drones scan the docks, AI directs cargo flow, and autonomous ships glide across the water with near-perfect timing. Efficiency here is an art form. This port survived wars, storms, and market crises, yet it never stopped evolving. Behind its calm waters lies a nerve center of logistics. Oil refineries, data hubs, and green energy terminals all operating in perfect coordination. Every shipment, from electronics to fresh fruit, reflects a tradition of precision that defines the Netherlands itself. Beyond commerce, the port represents the country's deeper philosophy: progress without waste. The Dutch believe growth must serve both people and planet. And in Rotterdam, that belief moves in real time. When night falls, cranes light up the horizon, and the port hums like a living machine. It's not just a gateway for goods. It's proof that efficiency, when paired with vision, can power an entire world. Number 10. The safest nights in Europe. The Netherlands feels safe in a way that's almost unfamiliar to visitors. You can walk alone at midnight, cross a quiet bridge, and hear nothing but the hum of bicycles in the distance. Crime rates are among the lowest in Europe, and trust in the system runs deep. People leave bikes unlocked outside shops, children cycle to school alone, and neighborhoods feel like extended families. This sense of safety isn't born from heavy policing, but from social balance. Everyone contributes, through taxes, community projects, and a deep respect for rules designed to protect everyone equally. Welfare systems ensure no one is left behind. Healthcare and education are universal rights, not privileges. The result is a society where equality isn't debated, it's lived. Even major cities like Amsterdam and Rotterdam feel calm after dark. Streetlights glow softly, trams glide by, and life slows to a whisper. It's not perfection, but it's proof that a fair society creates real security, not through fear, but through trust. In the Netherlands, safety is not a luxury. It's the quiet confidence that comes when people believe in one another. Number 11. Coffee, cookies, and calm. The Dutch way of life. If there's one ritual that defines Dutch daily life, it's koffietijd, coffee time. It's simple, warm, and unhurried. A fresh cup of coffee, one biscuit on the saucer, and genuine conversation. No rush, no extravagance. In a world that measures time by productivity, the Dutch preserve moments that remind them to pause. The idea of moderation runs through everything, from food to fashion to friendships. People eat well but rarely indulge, dress neatly but never to impress. Homes are clean, bright, and open to the street, with wide windows that invite daylight and honesty. Even success here is measured quietly. No one flaunts wealth, because contentment is the true currency. Evenings are for balance. Family dinners, walks by the canal, reading by lamplight. Work ends on time and weekends belong to leisure. It's a rhythm that keeps the nation grounded and sane. This calm way of living doesn't reject ambition, it redefines it. To live the Dutch way is to value time, connection, and peace of mind over speed or status. In a world that never stops, the Netherlands reminds us how beautiful it is to simply slow down. Number 12. The birth of stocks, where capitalism was born. Long before Wall Street flashed its first numbers, Amsterdam had already built the blueprint for the global economy. In 1602, the Dutch East India Company, known as the VOC, issued the world's first shares, creating an entirely new idea: that wealth could be shared, traded, and multiplied through trust. It wasn't gold or land that changed the world this time. It was paper, promise, and vision. At a time when ships were the lifelines of nations, Dutch merchants dared to do something radical: invite the public to invest in their voyages. For the first time, farmers, teachers, and artisans could own a fraction of a fleet heading to Asia. Their fortunes rose and fell with the tides. Risk became a profession, and finance became a frontier. The Amsterdam Stock Exchange soon turned into the beating heart of early capitalism, alive with shouts, calculations, and dreams of the open sea. It wasn't greed that drove it, but curiosity and courage. 4 centuries later, the same spirit still defines the Dutch economy: practical, inventive, and unafraid to experiment. In Amsterdam, capitalism didn't begin with conquest. It began with imagination, and with people brave enough to invest in possibility. Number 13. Inventions that changed the world. Few realize how many of the world's everyday technologies trace their roots to the Netherlands. From the music in your headphones to the wireless connection on your phone, Dutch innovation helped make it possible. In the 1960s, engineers at Philips invented the cassette tape, transforming how people listened to music. 2 decades later, they co-created the compact disc, giving the world a new way to store sound and memory. And in the 1990s, Dutch scientists contributed to the development of Bluetooth, the invisible link that now connects billions of devices. These weren't lucky coincidences, but the result of a national culture that prizes research, collaboration, and design. The Dutch never chase flashiness, they chase function. From microscopes and telescopes in the 17th century to cutting-edge 3D printing today, the country's creativity has always served a purpose: to make life simpler and smarter. What sets Dutch innovation apart is its quiet consistency. It doesn't scream for attention. It works so seamlessly that you forget it's there. Yet behind every simple convenience, a clear sound, a crisp image, a wireless signal, lies a piece of Dutch brilliance shaping how the modern world connects, listens, and lives. Number 14. The tulip that traveled from Turkey. The tulip, the national flower of the Netherlands, didn't begin its journey here. It came from the Ottoman Empire, modern-day Turkey, carried across continents in the 16th century by traders and botanists fascinated by its vibrant colors. When it arrived, the Dutch fell in love. The flower's symmetry, its elegance, and its rarity sparked what history now calls tulip mania, the world's first economic bubble. At its peak in the 1630s, a single tulip bulb could cost more than a skilled worker's yearly salary, sometimes even the price of a house. Investors bought and sold bulbs like gold, and fortunes were made overnight, until the market collapsed just as quickly. But out of that chaos came a legacy that still blooms today. The tulip became more than a flower. It became a symbol of Dutch resilience and beauty, proof that the nation could turn obsession into identity. Each spring, millions of tulips color the fields of Lisse and the gardens of Keukenhof, drawing visitors from around the world. It's a reminder that even a fleeting bloom can leave a timeless mark, and that sometimes what's borrowed becomes truly your own. Number 15. The color orange, national pride. Nowhere else in the world does a single color unite an entire nation quite like orange does in the Netherlands. It's not the hue of the flag, it's the color of identity, born from the royal family, the House of Orange-Nassau. Every year on King's Day, the country turns into a sea of orange. Streets overflow with parades, open-air concerts, and laughter. From newborns in orange hats to seniors sipping beer by the canal, everyone wears the color with pride. Orange here isn't about monarchy or politics. It's about belonging. It represents optimism, creativity, and the freedom to celebrate together. Even Dutch athletes carry it proudly. The national football team, nicknamed Oranje, is a source of collective emotion and unity. What makes this tradition special is its warmth. There's no arrogance in the display, only joy. Flags, balloons, even food, from orange cakes to beers, glow under the spring sun. When night falls on King's Day, music echoes across canals and laughter carries through the crowd. For one day, the Netherlands feels like a single heartbeat, vibrant, inclusive, and completely orange. Number 16. Amsterdam on wooden foundations. Beneath Amsterdam's postcard beauty lies a secret. The city quite literally stands on wood. Built on marshy, unstable soil, Amsterdam was constructed atop nearly 11 million wooden piles driven deep into the wet earth centuries ago. Every house, canal bridge, and clock tower relies on this invisible forest below the surface. Without it, the city would sink. These wooden pillars, some as long as 40 feet, were made from Scandinavian pine, preserved by the cold, oxygen-poor soil. The technique was revolutionary for its time, turning a swamp into one of Europe's most enduring capitals. Even today, engineers use similar principles when restoring old homes or building new ones. Modern piles now made of steel and concrete, but the idea remains unchanged. The site above ground, narrow houses leaning gracefully toward the canals, is the result of this engineering miracle. Each home's tilt, once an accident, is now part of Amsterdam's charm. To walk its streets is to tread lightly on history. A city that doesn't rest on fortune or faith, but on human ingenuity. In Amsterdam, even the foundations tell a story, that beauty can rise and stand tall on the most fragile of grounds. Number 17. The Museum Kingdom. For a country so small, the Netherlands holds an astonishing amount of art. With more than 600 museums, the highest density in the world, it's often called the Museum Kingdom. Here, history isn't kept behind glass. It breathes through every corridor, every canvas, every quiet gallery. In Amsterdam, the Rijksmuseum houses masterpieces by Rembrandt and Vermeer, while the Van Gogh Museum tells the story of genius and heartbreak through swirling yellows and restless skies. In The Hague, Mauritshuis glows softly with Girl with a Pearl Earring, a painting so intimate it feels like a whisper from another time. Even the humble Anne Frank house stands as a living testimony, a small space that speaks louder than words. But Dutch museums go beyond art. There are science centers, open-air villages, maritime exhibits, and quirky local collections that turn daily life into culture. Every city, no matter how small, preserves its own piece of memory. This devotion to preservation reflects something deeper in the Dutch soul, a belief that beauty and truth deserve protection. In the Netherlands, museums aren't monuments to the past, they're promises to the future, proof that a nation defined by water and wind has always been guided by art and imagination. We have just experienced 17 interesting things about the Netherlands, a small country with a great spirit, where people live in harmony with water, with wind, and with their own lives. Here, beauty lies not in ostentation, but in the balance, simplicity, and sophistication of each day. The Netherlands is not built only by technology, but by faith in people and life. Thank you for joining us on this journey. See you at the next destination, where the world still has countless wonders waiting for us to discover.